Decades since civil war first ignited in Syria, the humanitarian catastrophe continues. The Red Cross says the situation is worse than it's ever been, with an overwhelming majority of Syrians living in poverty. There are also now sobering new figures about the impact on young people, including their mental health and education.
As war began to tear their homeland apart, millions of Syrians saw only one option: getting out, risking their lives and entering the unknown, taking with them their families and little else.
خصصت له زاوية بقلبي احتفظ فيه بذكريات حلوة. ما بدي اتذكر 5 سنين الحرب اللي هن خلوني اطلع واتمسك بالأمان.
Rania Shalhoub came to Australia in 2016 with her husband and 2 daughters, but had to leave her parents behind. She says she struggles to even think about what's happening in her home country.
بتوجع. بتصدق أنا حتى إذا باكل خبزة دغري بتذكر إنه حرام في ناس ما عم تقدر تجيب خبز.
The daily bombardments in Syria may now no longer be as constant or widespread. But poverty and hunger are.
Some 90% of Syrians are living below the so-called international poverty line of about $1.25 USD per day.
The situation exacerbated by the fact that many of the 6 million people internally displaced have been forced to move multiple times.
People's needs are not only life-saving, food, water, shelter, but also longer-term needs around education and livelihoods and income.
The impact of the last decade on young Syrians has been detailed in a series of aid agency reports. The International Committee of the Red Cross found around 3/4 are struggling to afford food. A similar number live with psychological trauma, suffering anxiety, distress and sleep disorders, among many symptoms. Half have had a close relative or friend killed in the conflict, and almost 6 in 10 children have missed years of school.
This is a cohort of Syria's population that we hope will be part of re-establishing, rebuilding and reconstructing Syria when ultimately the conflict, we hope, comes to an end, and they will be challenged to do so.
Rania's daughter Joelle and her husband Joseph also live in Sydney. They don't take their education and career opportunities here for granted.
أنا كنت دايما بروح لعند أمي أسألها قال لها ما إنه العالم إنه كل العالم عايشين نفس حياتنا ولا بس نحن إنه كل العالم مثلا بتنقطع عندهم الكهرباء بيقعدوا يدرسوا على العتمة.
In Syria now the situation is very hard. Like even you work hard, even whatever you're gonna do, it's very hard to find a job.
But many who left Syria are still struggling. The vast majority fled to Lebanon, Jordan and Turkey. Some are in camps, half are in poverty. Most are finding it hard to pay rent.
It is dire because of the COVID pandemic. Many people have had their normal sources of income cut off.
In Syria, the economic cost of a now decade-old conflict estimated to be more than $1.5 trillion.
البيوت اللي عملناها، المحلات اللي كانت عندنا كلها مدمرة ومسروقة كانت للأسف. طبعا عشت خوف وشفت مناظر ما بتمنى أي إنسان يشوفها.
Helda Arbo and husband Abdullah have been able to rebuild their lives and livelihood in Australia.
بتمنى لشعبنا إنه يسترد شوية من الأمان والحرية اللي كان لازم ياخذها يعني. هاي أمنيتنا إن شاء الله بتتحقق.
Humanitarian groups hoping too that once the war is over, those wanting to return will safely be able to do so. But both may be a long way off. Omar Dehen, SBS World News.